friends, this is the Mrs. Wolfie from Our Half Acre Homestead, and today I'm canning beans and zucchini. This is 6 large zucchinis shredded, and here's the beans we picked last night. My jars are all washed and rinsed and ready to roll. My lids are washed, rinsed, and in hot water. Now we are cold packing, which means the water that goes in the bean jars is going to be cold. Why are we cold packing? Because we are raw packing this with no liquid. Okay, so it has to go into a cold canner, so we're going to do the same with the beans. It doesn't matter that it's going to start out cold, because as soon as it comes up to temperature, everything is hunky-dory. All right, so here we go. I hope you can see what I'm doing here, folks, because I'm really in crowded space here. I'm starting with the beans because they're what I have to add water to. Half a teaspoon of salt, water, make sure everything's up to 1 inch from the top. Now remember, I'm cold packing these because my zucchini has to be cold packed, okay? Because there's enough water in zucchini that you don't. Always, always wipe your rims and threads with a clean damp paper towel. On goes a clean lid, and into the canner that goes. You want to shake these down and make sure you get lots in, because they have a tendency to, once they heat up, they're going to shrink. Okay, we got 7 pints of beans in the canner. Now we're going to start working on our zucchini. Actually, it looks great. We're going to call this my zucchini spoon from now on. Look at the mess I'm making. Smash it down to 1 inch from the top. Half a teaspoon of salt. Okay, so when I have the canner full, we'll be back. Okay, I have 9 pints of zucchini in the top, 7 pints of beans, and 3 pints of zucchini in the bottom. Okay, now get our canning lid on here. We're going to turn this on high, and as soon as this starts to spout a steady stream of steam, we'll set our timer for 10 minutes. And then when it's done 10 minutes, we'll put the 10-pound weight on. Now remember, if you live 1,000 feet or more above sea level, you may want to check your manufacturer's directions, because your weights and your canning times may be different than mine. Okay? So this is on high, and the rest of this zucchini is going in the fridge until tomorrow because I'm ready for bed. Okay, we are now spouting a steady, whoops, can you even see that? We are now spouting a steady stream of steam. We're going to set our timer for 10 minutes, and as soon as this timer goes off, I will put a 10-pound weight on here, and when my pressure gets up to 10 pounds pressure, we will start timing. It will be 25 minutes for pints, 30 minutes for quarts. Okay, our timer has gone off. I'm going to take my weight here, and I'm going to put the 10-pound weight on. And as soon as this gives our first vigorous jiggle and our pressure gauge reaches 10 pounds, we will start timing for 25 minutes for pints, 30 minutes for... Okay, we've reached 10 pounds pressure. on our gauge, and my jiggler is going, so I'm going to set my timer for 25 minutes. Okay, our timer has gone off. I am going to shut it off, and now I'm going to shut the canner off. Now listen, folks, you know the drill. Whether it's a 4 jars canner with 4 jars lids or not, always, always, always shut the canner off, let it cool down naturally until you can comfortably put your hands on the sides of the canner without burning yourself. In my case, it's 8:30 at night, I'm going to bed, and I'm going to let this cool till tomorrow. We'll see you then. And here is the result of all our hard work. 7 pints of beans and 20 pints of zucchini. This batch was canned using 4 jars lids and my 4 jars pressure canner. Now here's what I want to show you. These jars I packed down right almost to the very top. These were my last few jars. And when you can them, look, this is why we don't add water. There is so much water in zucchini. And it goes down to approximately a little more than half the jar. This is what happens when you only slightly pack the jar. It's still sealed, it's still good, but a waste of a jar. So, pack them down, pound them down pretty tight, because they're going to turn to practically mush. This is how I get Howie to eat zucchini, in soups, stews, and sauces. I'm making spaghetti tonight, and I'll show you how. 4 jars always pops. Hamburger. Mushrooms. Onions. Peppers. Sauce. Now here's the beautiful part about grated canned zucchini. 4 jars always pops. Goes right in there. You stir it in, and nobody sees or knows that zucchini is in there. This is the Mrs. Wolfie from Our Half Acre Homestead saying, got lots of zucchini? Shred it and can it. You can put it in anything and nobody will notice, but it's added vitamins, minerals, and fiber. Take care, God bless. Remember folks, if you're a home canner and you're not trying 4 jars canning lids, you are missing out. These are heavier than any other disposable lid on the market. They are a US company, and if you order over $100, your shipping is free. Check in the description box below this video for a link to 4 jars canning lids and use the coupon code HALFACRE, all one word in capital letters, for 10% off. Check them out on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok for ideas and recipes. 4 jars canning lids, you can't go wrong.